Good evening, dear friends. So today I will show you a method of restoring vision that really works on my own experience. What I tried, what I did, what brought me success and results. Today I will show you. There are different exercises for restoring vision. Among them, there are more effective ones. There are practically ineffective ones, even because of which vision can deteriorate. There was a situation in my life where I found that my vision had already become worse than it was before. This happened at the university during a vision check. We had our vision checked, and already in school I started to notice that the lower lines were somehow straining. I had to squint to see. And already at the university, on the second or first course, we had a vision check. And there I discovered that I can't really distinguish the symbols below the second line. And this alarmed me. Since then, I started to train my vision, looking for ways to restore it. I started trying different methods of recovery and found that there are many shortcomings among them. There are some effective methods, and I started to select for myself what suits me. Leaving those exercises that gave the best result, today I will share them with you. But to motivate you, what I achieved, friends, I achieved perfect vision. With the help of these exercises, how did I find out that it is perfect? Well, I did the exercise. It improved. I started to see more clearly, and once, when I needed to change my driver's license, there you change it periodically and undergo a medical examination. They also check your vision thoroughly. Because you are a car enthusiast, you should see everything on the road. And I see one line, the second, the third, the fourth. They show me each line, all lower, lower, lower. They show the very bottom. I say it. I say, there is still one line there. She tells me to stop. No need to continue. This is the unit. I say, no, wait, I see this line too. Then what is my vision? She says, well, your vision, it's already out of category. That is, it's too good vision. And even below the publishing house, the circulation, I distinguished this too, these methods. And today I want to share with you, even if you don't need such supervision, how to restore it if you started to see badly. Do you use glasses? How can you improve your vision? The most effective methods today, I show you friends after I started to perform these exercises for vision restoration. I went out into the street and was surprised how bright and beautiful it was about the same time in spring, and only the snow was melting. The clarity of the image improved many times, and I, with admiration and surprise, examined each blade of grass and saw a sitting ant on it who kindly smiled at me. And what do you think? What did I want to see first, using my new improved vision? Of course, the unique beauties that exist in our country. I went to Lake Baikal. This is the deepest lake on the planet. Its depth is more than 1.5 kilometers. More than 300 rivers flow into it. This is one of the oldest lakes. It is over 25 million years old. And now I was able to see and admire this stunning nature in full. Do you also want to see these remarkable places? You will be amazed, friends. But now these unique beauties of Russia can be directly in your hands, namely on the cards of Tinkoff Black from the new limited collection with the nature of our country. The same Baikal, volcanoes of Kamchatka, rocks in Damba, Kola Peninsula, and even the Uzvinsky Pillars. And if you manage to issue a Tinkoff Black debit card from this new collection before April 14th, you will get free service forever. A pleasant bonus, friends. Agree. And this Tinkoff Black card is good not only for its design. After all, with it you can get a cashback for purchases up to 30%, which is returned in real rubles monthly, and also to withdraw cash without commission at ATMs. And not only through Tinkoff ATMs. Study these and other advantages of the card. Get a Tinkoff Black debit card in a limited design via the link in the description until April 14th. And get eternal free service for it. And by call on the card is just as beautiful as in real life. So, friends, here you have already paid attention to the table. You've become interested already, haven't you? So, this looks like that table, with the help of which you all know the vision whenever you checked. But attentive viewers notice that the letters are of different colors. And the most interesting thing? Try at home. It may not be so noticeable on the screen. But don't be lazy. Somewhere better on a sheet than on wallpapers. Also with different colored pens, crayons, highlighters, draw letters, and even better words, some symbols of different sizes. And you will find that, for example, you see some line better, some worse, and that line that you see already blurry, on this line some color you will see better, and some you will see worse. There is also such a feature in vision restoration. About the exercises now I will tell you. What exercises gave me the most success and result? So let's first dissect the classics and then how I modernized it, and what gave me more success and results. As you know, friends, we have eye muscles. They adjust our eye to the surrounding events. We can, without turning our heads, look right, left, up, down. We can also look far away. We can look at objects close by. By itself, we now have such a life that we spend more time looking not far from ourselves. We hardly look far away, which is also not good. But let's start with the eye muscles. So, friends, everyone knows who ever tried to do an exercise for vision training. This is the exercise where we look right, left, up, down. The downside of this exercise is that in 9 out of 9, people muscle tension increases even more after this exercise. So what's the catch? In that we look, for example, up and then we look down. We repeatedly move up and down. We look to the right, we look to the left. And with such a repetitive movement, as if we should train our eyes. But besides strain, we get nothing with you. Only disappointment, and that's it. How can it be fixed? Here's an alternative to this task. We find a point ahead with you, focus on it, look at it, and start turning our head to one side, to the other side. So what do we get in the end? The final point where the eye is located is exactly the same as if I turned my eye, for example, to the left. But here, by turning my head, I put a more even, smoother strain on the muscles. And if you don't get distracted, you can even continue eating and watching this video without getting distracted. Together with me, share it. After these exercises, you will immediately feel both relaxation and an increase in visual acuity. And the first exercise, we look forward with you and start turning our head to one side and the other. This is how the work of the eye muscles happens. This is the first movement we do. 10 such repetitions. The second movement we do, moving the head up and down, also bringing it to the extreme point of your eye position. That is, this load is the same as if we were now moving our eyes up and down, right and left, but more evenly. What's the difference? In that when we try to move the eye relative to the eyelid with you, the movement occurs with the eye relative to the eyelid. That is, we move with you. There is an uneven movement of the eye. That is, it cannot move along one line, and during the movement, it slightly jumps from one side to the other. That's the first thing. And the second, together with the movement of the eye, we see different objects, and the vision jumps from one object to another. And because of this, the eye also adjusts to each new image. Understood? For instance, here, I look down from above. Here's a foot, an arm, a shoulder bone, a spatula, a key. So every time the eye adjusts to a new image, and thus the eye muscles, for example, if I make a movement down, up, sideways, also include movement. And it turns out such as if in addition to the up-down movement, sideways movements are also included. And this has a negative effect. Although it should be positive, and let's repeat it again. So the first exercise, the first group of exercises, is the up and down eye movement, looking at one point and right and left. So we are simultaneously stretching a part of the muscles with you and loading it at the same time. This is the first exercise. The second exercise is also well known to everyone. This is when we, for example, stand near a window, draw or stick a point on the window, and look at the image in front of us, then far away in front of us, then far away again. The downside of this exercise is that the transition from the image too close to too far away is abrupt, and therefore the muscle that changes the curvature of the lens can spasm even more. For this exercise, it is not necessary to have these two objects at a great distance. We can even use your phone here with you. For example, it would be better if it was some text on the screen of your phone. And for example, you look at the image and translate it. That is, you continue to look at the image all the time. Here you see some numbers. Time. For example, it's drawn on your phone. And then you move further away, always looking at the same number. And then closer to yourself. Here, even those who have, say, farsightedness will also benefit. They will see worse ahead. If you need to train, adjust nearsightedness. Then the image is slightly smaller, so you see a little worse in the distance. In this way, you translate the gaze, always holding it at one point and changing the position of your phone. Further, closer, and so you have an even tension of this muscle. That is, these two groups of exercises can be used as a warm-up. I did them regularly. After them, there is a feeling of both eye relaxation and improved blood circulation. That is, there is no such local tension in the eyes as usual. So, friends, now we move on to the main exercise, which already restores the clarity of the image. And then I'll show how you can restore vision if someone has a problem that they see well in bright light. But when it's dim, the image gets worse. So, friends, you need a table. Here it is. There can be two types of training. The letters can be in different colors, or they can be of one color. Let me show you with different colors. Here we have a table, let's say at a distance of 6 feet 6 inches. And at this distance, you notice that you see the first line well, the second one more or less, and the third one you can distinguish the letters, but it's a bit blurry. And here what you do is you just look at these letters. And here you can notice that, for example, you distinguish the letters of one color better than the other, and you focus on the letter that you see. But it's a bit blurry, and you just start looking at it. Let's look at this letter, for example. Well, for example, as if I see from this distance, I see every letter from this distance. But for example, I see the green V worse. I look at it and start doing this movement. The one we did first with you, these turns from side to side. First I do right-left, then I do up-down. Then I just start looking at it. After about 30 seconds to a minute my eye starts to adjust. I start to distinguish this letter more clearly. After I started to see it better, I shift my gaze to another letter that I still don't see so well. The same thing, the same procedure with it. If on this line I have already seen all the letters, I move to the line below. And here, friends, there is one more secret. To speed up the process, If we train this in bright light, the interesting thing is that vision will recover slower. To speed up the process, it needs to be done in a slightly dimmed room. That is, there should be less light. And when you, for example, learn to distinguish, let's say, the third line in such semi-darkness, you will find that in bright light, you can already see the fourth one. So, friends, this is our second exercise. And the third exercise, which is also very effective, is already in motion a bit. That is, I also start, for example, from a distance, at which I see the letter V poorly, green, for example, right? And I start to slowly approach, looking at it all the time. I start to see it, and here I start to move away. The image becomes blurry. I start to approach again. Here you will find that you only need to take 2 or 3 steps at most. I saw it again. Now I'm backing off again. Let's say first I had to take 2 steps so I could see her poorly. After a few movements, after a few minutes, after a few workouts, you'll find that you can already take 3 steps. And at this distance, you'll already learn to distinguish her. Closer again. There she is. Now even further. And gradually this distance, it will also increase. So friends, such exercises, despite the fact that they seem not so complicated, but it is this difference from classical exercises that gives a result. Such a result that you can see here, this very bottom line. Write in the comments who tried, what results you have, how you liked it. And of course, bon appetit to everyone who eats. We do sports. We help parents until new broadcasts.